y'all, it's me again. I'm going to continue reading from my book, The Secret Lives of First Ladies. Turnip Tale. When Anna was still an infant, her father, John Symes, decided to take her to Long Island to be raised by her grandparents. But that was easier said than done. The Revolutionary War was raging, and John would have to pass through enemy lines to get his little daughter to safety. According to legend, he donned a British uniform, bundled Anna into a sack, and upon being questioned by curious British soldiers, explained that his purchase card was in fact a bag of turnips, bound for the kitchen of the British commander on Long Island. The troops let him pass, and Anna was delivered safely. That's so cool. That they were so fucking dumb. Okay. Presidential genes. The Anna outlived 9 of her 10 children is horrific and astonishing, but consider all the grandchildren she ended up with. One estimate puts the total at 48. Damn. Moreover, one of those grandchildren, Benjamin Harrison, born to Anna's son John Scott, would one day go on to become president of the United States. Anna is the only first lady to be both a wife and grandmother to an American president. Actually, yeah. Damn. I did not know that at all. I'm starting to like this book now. I'm learning so much about all these people. This is so fucking cool. Okay, chapter 7. Nelita Christian Tyler. November 12, 1790 through September 10th, 1842. Married March 29th, 1813. Presidential husband, John Tyler. Children, Mary, Robert, John Jr., Lolita, Elizabeth, Anne Countess, Alice, and Tazewell. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Never heard that name before. First lady, from 1841 through 1842. So for a full year, actually. Okay. Damn. Astrological sign, Scorpio. Religion, Episcopalian. Yes, if I said it right. Soundbite. Because I am ill is no reason why the young people should not enjoy themselves. As First Lady, Lolita Tyler rarely made public appearances. Even during miraculous parties, she would remain upstairs in her bedroom, confined to her wheelchair and reading the Bible. Or as my boyfriend would say, the Bible. I like it. Anyways, okay, continue. John Tyler was the first vice president to become president while in office. He was also the first president to have his wife die during his term, the first to get remarried while in the White House, and the first to have 2 first ladies during his stay as chief executive. One of those wives went on to become a famous figure in the annals of American history. Lydia Christian Tyler is the other one. Such anonymity can be traced to her upbringing. She was born the 7th of 12 children near Richmond, Virginia, to Robert Christian, a wealthy planter, and Mary Brown Christian. Like most women of the Old South, she learned that grace and beauty could get her far, as could keeping her mouth shut on matters that were considered a promise of men. As a result, she evolved into a quintessential belle, pious, polite, reserved, and as good at avoiding public conversation and weighty matters as she was at knitting. Around 1808, she met fellow Virginian John Tyler. A law student in keen intelligence and ambition, Tyler was struck by Lolita's delicate good looks and agreeable demeanor. He was also nearly put off by her obsession with propriety. The guy didn't dare even kiss her hand until 3 weeks before the wedding in 1813. The couple soon made up for lost time. By 1830, Lolita had given birth to 9 children. Her bruised education and welfare would be Lolita's highest priority, followed by the running of her family's plantation home. Husband John could contribute little beyond his seed to the Tyler family experience, as he was off making a name for himself. After serving in the War of 1812, he was elected to the House of Representatives and the Virginia legislature. Soon enough, he became governor of Virginia and then went up to the U.S. Senate. Tyler was a man of principle, however, a quality that usually gets politicians into trouble. By 1836, he had pissed off both the Democrats and Whigs by voting his conscience and felt compelled to resign his seat in the Senate. He and Lolita moved the family to Williamsburg, Virginia. It was there in 1839 that Lolita suffered her first stroke. Running after her brood of children and keeping the slaves in line had taken their toll, and Letitia's health would never be the same. The religion to which she had always turned in good times and bad now began to obsess her, and wheelchair-bound, Letitia spent nearly all her time in the bedroom devouring the Bible. She continued to exert a tremendous influence on domestic affairs, but now had to rely on others to carry out her instructions. John, elected to the vice presidency in 1840, planned on remaining in Williamsburg to avoid the discomfort of moving his wife to Washington. This intervened, specifically President William Henry Harrison. Letitia had no choice but to accompany her husband to Washington. But this was long before the days of government laws mandating wheelchair access. The new First Lady found herself imprisoned by a mansion that afforded her little maneuverability. As a result, official hostessing duties were delegated to her daughter-in-law, Priscilla. The First Lady herself rarely made public appearances, preferring, even during White House parties, to remain upstairs with her Bible. A demure and baffled person to begin with, her crippled condition made Letitia all the more willing to remain out of sight. Official Washington never really got to know her, and many wondered if the president's spouse really existed at all. Only a major event like the White House wedding of her third daughter, Elizabeth, brought her down from her second-story sanctuary. It was one of the very few occasions in which Mrs. Tyler made a public appearance. Any opportunities to know her vanished in 1842 when she suffered another stroke. She died on September 10th. Sadly, she had to spend her last months on Earth watching her beloved husband become one of the most alienated presidents in American history, a man whose policies made Congress boil with rage, including his Whig Party associates who abandoned him. Her funeral, the first of a sitting presidential spouse, captured the attention of all Washington, and they swept by a tragedy they had never known before. The people's eyes, however, were soon drawn to a Long Island socialite who stole the president's heart and took the Capitol by storm. Mistress with a heart. Letitia was a woman of her time and place. In other words, she believed that owning slaves and couldn't imagine living without them. Not that she didn't consider their welfare, of course. Her heart went out especially to her fellow women. Letitia insisted that the female slaves not work in the field, and all of them were given household chores. We can only assume that such splendid generosity downgraded their roiling hatred to a simmering resentment. Yeah, most likely. A. Forever. During John Tyler's term as governor of Virginia between 1825 and 1827, Letitia struggled with a tiny entertainment budget. She and her husband, like all plantation aristocrats, tended to be cash poor despite their real estate holdings, and Tyler's paltry salary didn't make things any easier. Letitia attempted to remedy the situation in a rather imaginative, if pathetic, way. Intending to inspire sympathy from the Virginia legislature, she invited some lawmakers to the Tyler home for a dinner party. The fare was anything but sumptuous. Ham, bread, and whiskey. If any of the guests were appropriately moved, they didn't show. The Tylers were not voted any more money, and Letitia didn't throw any more parties for state legislators. Chapter 3. Julia Garnier Tyler. May 4th, 1820 through July 10th, 1889. Married June 26, 1844. Presidential husband, John Tyler. Children, David Garnier, John Alexander, Julia LaChalon, Lyon Garnier, Robert Walter, and Pearl. First Lady, from 1844 to 1845. Another one for a whole year. Wow. Astrological sign, Taurus. Religion, Episcopalian then Catholic. Selma, with dinner parties of the usual kind in country and city would not appear dull to me after all those brilliant ones we gave at the White House. Talk about excess. Talk about excess. Julia Child never traveled anywhere without 12 ladies in waiting, nicknamed the Vestal Virgins by the critical press. I'm gonna stop here. Okay. Please rate, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that bell notification so that you know when I upload next. And if you're on TikTok, please like and follow my videos. And please pay for something on either my eBay or my card. And if you want to know my username for those, please comment down below. Okay, bye.